Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea. Welcome back to a best of 3 here between HeroMarine and Zest. Recently played at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2022 World Championships. In the top right we have HeroMarine playing for Team Mouse. Mouse Esports, Mouse Sports Gaming. I know the word mouse is in there. They have the logo of a mouse and it's red. In the bottom left we have Zest, who's playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Opening up with 2 gas. HeroMarine opening up with 2 gas, so both players have something up their sleeve. The question is, what is it that they have up their sleeve? Maybe an ace, but perhaps just a mere 4 or a 5, some other crap card that you never really need when playing poker. Actually, that's not really true. I wonder if in poker it might be better to not just have aces up your sleeves, but also just other cards up your sleeves. You know, just an entire deck up your sleeves, so you can kind of match with what's on the table. If you only have an ace up your sleeve, this will come in handy in very rare situations, I feel like. Obviously, still more often than any other situation, but I really do believe that's not useful. Also, when you have the ace up your sleeve, I never quite understood, how does it exactly work? You have the ace up your sleeve, and then imagine you have a spades, an ace of spades up your sleeve, and then on the table is an ace of spades as well. Like, you can't pull out that ace again, you know? They'll be like, hey, wait, that's a second ace of spades. Do they just remove that card from the deck then? Is that how you cheat? Or what is the entire process here? I'm not so sure. I guess we'll have to figure that out at some point in the future. Another thing that we need to figure out at some point in the future here is what in the world HeroMarine is doing. He's opening up with a second barracks in his main base. This was a fake proxy. Sends his Reaper across the map. Followed this up with a factory reactor tech lab on the factory here. Are we gonna see like a 3 barracks 1 base type of opener out of Big Gape? He's gonna proxy something else on the map. That could be a starport, could be another barracks, or he's just scouting for something because he saw he's playing against a double gas opener as well. Perhaps he's just looking for that Stargate. That's what's happening as the starport gets thrown down here in the main base. Is this a tech lab? No, it's just marine production. Alright. He's got me. I don't know what this is. He managed to beat me here with his game theory. I actually have absolutely no idea what this build exactly is or what it is supposed to do, but I do know that this is one hell of a wild build. It is going up against a build which will have very quick scouting with this Oracle. There is a sentry which can be used for hallucination, but of course also can be used for a guardian shield. The marine count is growing already. See a medevac on the way, but it is in supply block mode currently. This depot isn't quite finishing up yet. If you have this many buildings actually producing, it's pretty easy to get supply blocks. I'm not going to blame him for that. This Oracle is going to stay home, and instead we see a fake Oracle marching across the map. And once HeroMarine sees that that's a fake Oracle, I think he's going to be really surprised. I do hope this Oracle actually will kind of pop off into the natural base. If it just spots the main base, that wouldn't be super useful unless it sees the second barracks. I'm not so sure if if Zest is aware of what's kicking off. He sees the second barracks. I think he even saw that there's no tech lab on it, so that's kind of suspicious. We don't have a pylon on the low ground quite yet. 2 Oracles make their way across the map. And I think this will be the first moment, really. And I kind of want to move to Zest's point of view. He sees the lack of a natural. And I want to see what his actual response is going to be. Okay, he's going to continue to just go into the main base, it seems like. Oh wait, I didn't actually have him on the first position correct hotkey now, did I? He must be building something at home. No, he actually was just controlling the Oracles. Okay. Okay, cancels that Twilight Council. Gets a battery on the high ground. Wants to immediately give up his natural, but in that case the probes need to also come back home. 5 workers do end up falling. I'm not so sure if this is that great for Zest, honestly. This felt like it should have been really good for Zest, and with how quick he got that scouting info, but his response of getting no battery on the low ground in time is really going to hurt him, because the only true advantage he has in this game is his worker count. He has 34 workers against 20, but if you're working off of a single base, that's actually not an advantage, that's a disadvantage, because you just invested a lot of money into a nexus, into extra workers that are not going to be useful. Oh, this is perhaps a mistake though, because the super battery in combination with that guardian shield and this high ground position can be very powerful here for Zest. A lot of these Marines have already gone down. 2 tanks are still alive. Super battery still going strong. Tank will get taken out. Viking gets taken out. And with 2 Void Rays still alive, this Nexus will eventually fall. But at the same time, there's still 2 batteries available. There's a crap ton of workers. There's only a single tank. I wouldn't even mind if both of these Void Rays get used as a way to clear off reinforcements. Trying to take out Vikings or Marines that are trying to chase. I actually think that would be a very cool call here. For now though, Zest is just going to be using it to try and pick off any type of mechanical unit. Prismatic alignment is not yet off cooldown, but you can of course still try to get these Vikings down. Cyclones need to move very carefully as well. Zest is kind of luring over here, making sure that he can get that damage on these units if HeroMarine makes a mistake. Luring HeroMarine into a false sense of security almost. Is okay, just come up here, buddy. No worries. Now we do have the triple Void Rays. Another super battery is being used, and this position just gets instantly broken once again. I don't think that Zest needs to continue pushing down. I really believe that these 2 Void Rays would be... okay, a move down. Is there a Guardian Shield? There is a Guardian Shield, I think. It's available now at least. Could be used, could be used. There we go. Void Rays not getting microed individually. This entire Stalker Ball is getting pulled back. I think that's a mistake. I think that Stalker Ball should have continued attacking, but the Void Ray should have been pulled back. Now instead there's no more Void Rays available. There's a bunch of Stalkers, but with tanks here, Zest still in a very, very good position, actually. I got excited for a second, but... like, Zest is free. He has an insane work elite. He should start long distance mining though. There we go. Immediately starts doing that. But he can just kite this army for a long time. He's adept to gain vision. Zest, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. You gotta be very, very careful. I think he ended up losing 1 Stalker there. Maybe barely didn't. Matter of fact, with 8 Marines heading in towards the main base, this is a weird warp in out of Zest. It's almost like he doesn't want that Stalker to survive. Just putting it straight in front of these Marines. Matter of fact, gets taken out. If this Stalker was just over here, that would have been a brilliant... Hello, Micro! That would have been a brilliant warp in, but not in this case. Also just losing another Void Ray in a very sloppy way. I don't think it's a necessity to get a Nexus here. Just continued unit production, I think, would be better in this case. Right, you're still being all in. Zest might not be aware of that, though. Oracle is being sent out. There's a lot of money in the bank. 4 more Zealots as well. These 2 Adepts are going to be walking into some tank shots. Will get controlled immediately. Sloppy control, though, out of Zest, really. So far this game, I think 4 Void Rays, 2 Oracles have gone down. There now is another Oracle making its way across the map. There's no turret here, which means that this Mule will get picked up. A lot of these SCVs might get picked off. Zest in a fantastic spot. Is going to move into the main base right now. There's not enough Marines to really deal with this. Tank is being sent back. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, honestly, because the tank doesn't shoot up. This Oracle will take out 2 more Marines, I think. Oh, good pick up there. Nice, well done, HeroMarine. Very cool. This is good control with that single Marine. Dropping it and then picking it up again, making sure it doesn't die. These Vikings will take care of the Oracle. I really believe that Zest at this point should just be focusing on warping in a lot of units and maybe even getting a Twilight Council for charge. Charge is an absolute game ender here. It's not a game changer, although it would change the game. It just ends the game. That's what it would do. The moment you get charge, the Zealots connect with the Marines, with the tanks, it's just absolutely over. Stalkers can be used in 2 ways as well. They can be used to kite the opponent, or they can be used to pick off reinforcements. Once again, this is something we haven't seen that much yet out of Zest, using units to try and pick off reinforcements. Once again, HeroMarine popping off with a very big army, spots this army so late. Stalkers out of position. Are you going to use a recall on that? Then you don't have energy for a super battery, so I would be kind of disappointed. These Stalkers will be capable of taking out a tank for free. That's a big deal. 2 of these Marines also could be falling. There is high ground here for these Void Rays. No, he chrono boosts? You've got to be kidding me. No super battery currently available, which means that these Marines and this Viking actually could be good. A lot of Zealots being given up as well for free. Zest is on, or time is on Zest's side. So the longer this game goes, the better it will be for Zest. Zest is floating 600 minerals on top of that as well. Not having the ability to throw down a super battery is huge though. No reinforcements are entering the battle here, and no super battery. A super battery here would have been so huge. These tanks will get taken out, at least 1 tank gets taken out from the back, but there's too much anti-air still alive. 40 energy on this Nexus right now, with 2 Void Rays still flying out and about. How many Marines is there? 15 Marines. Well, in this battle about 10 and 2 Vikings, but without any battery energy, it doesn't even matter. The Void Rays will go down. So let's try to connect with this army. I guarantee you with a super battery that Zest would have held this. What a humongous, absolutely huge mistake here out of Zest. To chrono boost this Void Ray. This chrono boost is what lost him the game 100%. He's floating 800 minerals on top of that. 4 gateways. I just don't understand how that's even possible. And then also he just walks into his opponent. He's just, before the Stalkers even come by, like he loses like 6-7 units. This is just a little bit confusing, isn't it? This really is just a little bit confusing. Alright, well, we'll be heading into game number 2 as HeroMarine takes game number 1 here. We'll see if he can win this best of 3. Game number 2 will be played here on 2K Atmospheres between HeroMarine and Zest. Your good friend HeroMarine once again sends out... No, never mind. He's not sending out this SCV whatsoever. He's gonna keep this SCV at home. We'll start building a depot. Of course, it can still be a fake proxy, as HeroMarine has been a little bit more fond of these right now than he was in the past. Lately, he's been playing that a fair amount. Zest opening up with a Reaper wall on this map. I don't mind it too much, honestly. It's nice to be able to deny your opponent's Reaper. You do need a 3rd pylon here in order to block this. Of course, 2nd pylon almost always is built downstairs. And that's why I say a 3rd pylon, not 2nd pylon. It is a possibility to build a 2nd pylon upstairs, but that forces your hand. You're absolutely supposed to play Stargate in that scenario. Probe starts making his way across the map, and we'll get a scout in. Interesting to see that there is no scouting around the base for any potential proxies. Is it surprising, perhaps? Is it bad in this situation? Not really. I don't think it matters too much. I like this. This is kind of a double series mind game, right? First game you play a 2-gas opener with a proxy barracks. Now you get the 2nd depot before you really want it, and you're still going to just be playing a 1 Rex expand with the CC, I assume, to be on the high ground. Right? That would make a lot of sense. CCs and factories, they tend to kind of always be on the high ground together. So most likely will just be Marine into factory. That actually would make this build very good. CCs still should be built before the factory though, in my opinion. Can we get it? Yes, we can. HeroMarine, can we? There we go. We do get that. Mule gets thrown down from the sky as well, as the factory timing will be right about now. The reactor also goes down at around the same time. So that's cool. I like this opener. I really do like this opener. We'll see how Zest responds to this. 1 chrono on the warp gate and 1 chrono on this adept usually indicates a multi-gate play. So more than 1 gateway before the first real tech structure. Gateways, of course, not real tech structures. Sentry being built here. Wow. Huh. Okay, this is something we don't see every single day. This is actually something we don't see at all, in my opinion. Triple gate, okay, so it's going to be a multi-gate opener. Triple gate with a sentry, delayed twilight, or delayed robo. There's a couple of plays you can make here. I actually really like this opener for Zest. Double sentry? Okay, I've seen a lot of weird stuff in my life, and this is definitely pushing the envelope a bit. Zest does scout that there is a Hellion starting already, or 2 Hellions are starting. Some Hellion production going on. Of course, it could still be mine production, but it's kind of unlikely from this type of opener. Follows up with robotics as well. Okay, this is a very old school build order, which actually, I think this build actually is quite good for Zest. Zest has a good build order for what he is playing against. These first 2 Hellions should not be capable of dealing too much damage. HeroMarine hasn't scouted yet, so he needs to use these for scouting around the map, making sure that he knows what's going on. Unless Zest loses 10 units here, or 10 workers to these 2 cars, I actually think he's ahead. His worker production hasn't been brilliant, but then again, is it ever really... Does it need to be brilliant against this? The orbital needs to fly over, and your oracle spots whatever is going on. This is a lot of info right here that Zest has received. I like this opener. I really think this is a cool opener. Double sentry, adept double sentry into 3 gate into robo. The follow-up of a prism though is a debatable choice. You are playing against a 2-1-1 type of opener. That much has been spotted. You can get the confirmation here, but it's really obvious with your last scout already. What has... Okay, yeah. I was gonna say Robo Bay has to be the correct call here. And I guess Zest wants to follow this up with not just a Robo Bay after a third base. No, he wants to go for either a Colossi or a Disruptor drop. You see him tech into those double gases as well on the natural. And he's not going to take this forward base. Is he actually going to move out with this? It will kind of surprise me. I guess like a double or triple adept drop is always a possibility. Maybe just put some Stalkers in this prism is also, of course, allowed. That's exactly what he's going to be doing. 4 Stalkers in the prism. Zest aware of the fact that the starport is late and will only be used for that first Marine drop and not for a Mine drop. And in that case, I really do think that harassing with prisms is fantastic. I think that getting a Colossi drop is brilliant. We don't quite have an upgrade yet on the Robo Bay. Could of course be Thermal Lens, could also be something else. Yep, that's a couple of Marines that you're gonna lose here, HeroMarine. Stim is done already though. Says we'll need to piss off right now. Immediately picks up in this or pops up in this prism. It's going to drop again though. Hallucination scouts the move out. This is going to cost HeroMarine 4 or 5 workers. This is actually kind of painful. Delay on the third barracks, possibilities are there. The only way I really could see Zest lose this game is if he loses straight up to this drop, but I mean, he killed 7 workers, has probably the perfect build order counter against what his opponent is doing. This is a dream scenario, my friends. Army is split through the middle, battery in the main, battery in the natural, Forged Twilight. Yeah, I'm a fan. I really am a fan here. Zest in a... yeah, stops this. It's getting graphitic speed now, graphitic drive for the Warp Prism speed. Stalkers once again, popping off in the main base, gonna take out more workers. This is game. This is just actually game over. 13 workers have gone down. Look at the units lost here. 2 units have fallen, a probe and a stalker. 13 SCVs, 4 marines, and 2 Hellions have gone down on the other side. Third base right now on the way. When Protoss is up in supply while playing 2 base Colossi against Terran, that is usually not a very good sign for the Terran player. 1 Viking is being built right here. Yeah, I love the Colossi drop. I think this is a brilliant plan, honestly. You could go try and hunt for any potential Marines, but you could also, of course, go for a little bit of harassment on these bases. Both choices, I think, are fine here. I don't necessarily rate one much higher than the other. Do hope that this third base stays alive, but I'm actually not worried about that at all. Charge is an interesting call, though. No thermal lens yet either. Okay, this is like a fake Colossi. This is kind of how we used to play back in not in Wings of Liberty, but a little bit in Heart of the Swarm, where a lot of Terran players would just be so focused on SCV pooling that what you could do as a Protoss player is you build a fake Colossi. You build 1 or 2 and the opponent starts building Vikings, and then they SCV pool, and tada, you have Storm, or you have your Charged Archon Immortal, whatever it is you're building. HeroMarine is it's actually kind of playing like that, honestly. Has 4 or 5 tanks out already, 4 tanks. Continuing Viking production as well. Wait, did he kill the prism? No way, right? Yeah, no way. There's so many Vikings, I'd almost advise Zest to stay home at this point. His income is quite low, which worries me a slight amount, and there might be a timing here which HeroMarine can hit. I can't believe this is actually working out, though. It's going to be 7 Vikings against the Charged Immortal Archon army in a game where HeroMarine has been absolutely outplayed at the start. The problem for Zest is that he hasn't been mining so much. His third base was quite late. His worker production has been lacking. I don't think there's a different word that I can use there. He should definitely be at 60 workers already, and I think he should have way more supply at this point. A lot of the money has been invested in infrastructure, and only the first warpin went off just now. Without thermal lens, these Colossi are a fun investment, but they're also quite expensive. Tanks in the back, dishing out a lot of damage. The first Colossi might just fall. We pick up there out of Zest. But yeah, Stalkers without Blink don't deal too well with these Vikings. Charge is going to be great, but HeroMarine's actually pushing forward here with 4 tanks. A lot of Vikings. Vikings can now land. Mine is going to burrow as well. Is HeroMarine actually doing this? I think he might just be. There's not that many ground units left. There was no, well, +1 attack upgrade, I guess, on this army. Zest needs to give up this base, but if he gives up this base, then HeroMarine can just kind of go back home, can't he? And he doesn't even need to. There's still 5 tanks here. He has that range advantage. There's plenty of Vikings. I think a Disruptor could be useful, but 1 Disruptor against 5 tanks also isn't quite it. This looks fantastic here for the German Terran player who, I think in both games, didn't really look that great. He looked fine. I mean, he made the correct calls, but build order-wise, it didn't really look good. And now he's just going to pick up the win here. 5 tanks moving forward. We'll start targeting down that Immortal. Super Battery is putting in some work as well, but I do believe that HeroMarine will make it out alive. Triple tanks, couple of Marines, 1 Viking landed, and 3 Marauders will definitely be enough to clear whatever Zest can throw at him. There's not a single attack upgrade, by the way, on this army. I'd just like to note that. There is an eBay, but it has not been used. As this ground force will not be dying anytime soon. More tanks moving in. Liberators now being rallied across the map as well. These single Liberators being rallied across the map. Barracks 4 and 5 going down. As HeroMarine is in such a big lead at this point. This single Immortal should not be capable of doing anything. Maybe pick off 1 Marine. Once again, this army starts moving forward. I like this pickup. Once again, no blink means you can't really fight this. Ooh, I like this Archon control here. We'll pick off a Viking. But these medevacs boost to safety, and at this point probably can land again. Yep, there we go. Secondary pickup, and HeroMarine looks absolutely fine in this position. Up 30 supply, storm on the way. I think this is a fantastic call. Not just a good call, but actually a fantastic call. I wouldn't have minded if HeroMarine would have built a 3rd base rather than these 2 barracks. Thrown down a Ghost Academy a bit later, but without any attack upgrades or any armor upgrades, I guess he doesn't feel super comfortable in that state. I kind of do understand that. Pick up. Okay, that's in time. Solid stuff. A couple of workers once again might fall. Overall, the workers guild still in favor of Zest as his 3rd base starts floating over right now. And HeroMarine says, ta-da, I think your main's about to mine out, buddy. I also think your natural's about to mine out. Liberator harass out of HeroMarine, not the biggest fan of that, as Zest is just going to deal with that absolutely fine. And that does cost you a Liberator. There's another Lib on the way here. I actually think they should just be used in unison with the push if you want to start pushing out again. 5 tanks are here. There's a couple of nasty positions that HeroMarine can take. You can go over here, maybe attack into the main base, or just put his tank over here once again and start heading towards that natural. At the same time, HeroMarine doesn't really feel any pressure to start attacking because, I mean, why would he? He is just up a lot in supply. He's up in eco currently as well as outmining his opponent by 1k a minute. On the other hand, do you really want to give your opponent the opportunity to get back into a game where he absolutely should not be capable of getting back into? I've seen Zest do it before, and he might just do it again as we have the Stormer Templar. Actually just going to be hitting some of these tanks. Not the worst storms, as it does splash a fair amount, but the bio is still alive. There's too many Marauders in this army, as Zest will need to tap out. GG gets called, and HeroMarine wins this series 2-0 against Zest. And I really wonder a little bit where that key moment is in this game. It felt like Zest was in a fine position. I really believe it has to do with this hard cut on the worker straight into so many gateways. We can also debate whether not getting thermal lens but getting War Prism speed is that big of a deal. He killed 13 stalkers with the he killed 13 SCVs with the stalkers initially, and then with this Colossi drop with that Prism speed, he really did nothing at all. So you kind of wonder, hey, wasn't it better to get thermal lens there, or just, if you want to play like this, maybe get a single Colossi, so you know you have a little less invested into that Colossi tech. I mean, if you go up to 2 Colossi, you might as well get the thermal lens. No blink for the Stalkers, and the Stalkers being out of position also didn't help, of course, although Zest was aware of that. So yeah, interesting series, interesting game. It really felt like Zest had the upper hand here, but HeroMarine just with a quick tank push manages to finish him off. That will be it for this series today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.